What some say is a sneaky move to keep a controversial township supervisor in power. In part two of our investigative series, the mayor of Dalton, who's also the Thornton Township supervisor, cements her salary with a last-minute vote.
Our Dane Placco reveals just how she did it. Dane?
Anthony and Natalie, she makes a whopping $224,000 a year. Now, Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard wants to cut the salary of her position by nearly $200,000. What a great move for taxpayers, right? Well, the pay cut only happens if someone else gets that job.
Black Girl Magic, City Girl Mayor Tiffany Henyard of this town, Dalton, Illinois, small town. And she's also on the council of a nearby township. So this mayor, Tiffany Henyard, has been in the news recently, and not for good reasons. This person is what I call an abuser of power. She is one of the people that make Americans disdain politics, regardless of party, because she is in there solely just to profit off of the office that she is in. She's not in that office for the benefit of the constituents. She's not in that office to help in the community. She's in that office to make sure she can get bank and bank over and over and over again.
What some say is a sneaky move to keep a controversial township supervisor in power. In part two of our investigative series, the mayor of Dalton, who's also the Thornton Township supervisor, cements her salary with a last-minute vote.
Our Dane Placco reveals just how she did it. Dane?
Anthony and Natalie, she makes a whopping $224,000 a year. Now, Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard wants to cut the salary of her position by nearly $200,000. What a great move for taxpayers, right? Well, the pay cut only happens if someone else gets that job.
It's maybe the worst attempt to try to dissuade people from running that I've ever seen, and that's a long time.
Longtime municipal attorney Bert Odelson says he was stunned when he saw the latest move by controversial Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard, who also doubles as the mayor of Dalton. 2 weeks ago, the Township Board passed an ordinance that allows Henyard to continue collecting her $224,000 a year salary. But if anyone other than Henyard gets the job, the ordinance resets that salary to $25,000 a year. Odelson says that's blatantly unconstitutional because you can't set an elected official's salary based on who's holding the seat.
You put a salary to attach to the job, to the officer. So it is a blatant attempt to dissuade other people from running and to allow the current supervisor to maintain the $250,000, whatever it is, obnoxious salary.
I didn't receive any information, actually literally till I sat down for the meeting.
No, you didn't know this was coming.
No.
Thornton Township trustee Chris Gonzalez says he didn't vote for the ordinance because he was handed the 7-page document at the start of a meeting and didn't even have a chance to read it. Gonzalez says it's clear Henyard is trying to ward off an election challenge by cutting the salary of anyone who beats her by nearly 90%.
Discourage people from running is probably the first thing that comes to mind.
This is the definition of election interference. This is the definition of trying to fix or rig an election. Tiffany Henyard is rigging the election to maintain and abuse power. This is an abuse of power. And you would think that you would have all these Democrats speaking out against it, but you don't, because she's one of them. You won't have anybody from MSNBC talking about this. You won't have anybody from The Root or The Griot or anybody. You won't have Michael Eric Dyson talking about this. You won't have Joy Reid talking about this. You won't have Mark Lamont Hill talking about this. You won't have those folks talking about this. They wouldn't even touch this because they know this will not fly with their constituency, with their base. But as a biblical conservative, you got to call out wrong when it's wrong. And this is wrong. She's abusing power. She is rigging an election to stay in power. And that's not the only thing that this person has done.
Last night, we showed you how some residents and elected officials claim the local mayor retaliates against people who don't support her.
Well, tonight we look at a spending spree that's also causing questions and concern. Again, investigative reporter Ben Bradley.
40 minutes south of Chicago, you'll find Dalton, Illinois. The median income is $24,000 a year. And yet the mayor collects more than 10 times that amount from various elected positions. And as we found, a paycheck isn't the only perk. In South suburban Dalton, the economic challenges run deep.
We still have areas that need trees cut, streets paved, alleys paved, sidewalks fixed. It's a lot of that going on.
And a lot that's being spent, not on critical repairs, but on travel, meals, and more by many top village officials.
It's an issue. It's been an issue for some time.
We just look up and we're paying for stuff. And it just makes no sense. She's just doing what she wants to do.
None of them do the things that we do here. We the only ones making sure y'all streets get paid, find ways to fix what is broken.
She is Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
But then they running y'all, say y'all this little fictitious story.
Would you like to just do an interview with me?
Yeah, I got you.
Let's go.
In addition to leading Dalton, she also serves as supervisor of Thornton Township. You make almost $300,000 between your two elected positions.
I do not. I don't know where you got that number from.
We got it from her own village and township records.
These are tax dollars.
So is the money being spent on village credit cards. WGN Investigates obtained copies of statements that reveal village officials have spent more than $24,000 at restaurants in just 1 year, including this Midlothian barbecue joint and a South Holland sub shop.
I've seen the same thing and more. You name it, they've done it.
Other questionable expenses include the streaming service Hulu, flights to Texas, Alabama, and Missouri, and hotel rooms in nearby suburbs, including Madison and Elk Grove Village, plus thousands of dollars spent at a hotel in downstate Pontiac.
My take is this. If they are going to something that's going to benefit the village, that's fine. But from my standpoint of view, these things don't benefit the village at all.
And then there are the trips to Las Vegas. Mayor Henyard and other top officials traveled to Sin City in May to attend a shopping center conference. It's unclear if it helped Dalton land any deals.
Don't have a clue. We're all in the dark. Not only are the residents in the dark, but the trustees are also in the dark as well.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No, God.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
Of course I do.
Were you?
It's not paid by them.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
Actually, yes. The credit card records do shed some light on tax dollars spent at several restaurants near the Strip, including Cafe Hollywood and Hot and Juicy Crawfish.
All right. Any other questions?
So you're not going to answer how taxpayer dollars are being spent? That seems odd.
I just answered it. What do you mean? I just answered your questions.
You said you wouldn't answer about Las Vegas.
You asked me a question and I responded. So any other questions you may have?
They may have signed up for a conference, but they never bring anything back. So we have no idea why they go to these trips.
Remember, we mentioned Henyard was also supervisor at Thornton Township. WGN Investigates obtained copies of that agency's credit card statements as well. They show township taxpayers also spent money on the Vegas trip, on everything from steak dinners to hotels, and $3,741 just on Henyard's round-trip flight.
I shouldn't have to sit up here and break all this down.
When trustees refused to pay a big block of bills this week, the mayor accused them of putting vital city services in jeopardy.
We need receipts to understand what's going on.
We couldn't help but notice the red hat perched in front of Mayor Henyard throughout the meeting. It's from the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company, which, by the way, was apparently a stop on the Vegas trip. $303 billed to Thornton Township taxpayers.
We just feel lost, and we just want the powers that be to step in and say, hey, you know, something's got to give.
Anybody else? I just want to be clear. Anybody else after that? That's it.
We sought specifics from Dalton and Thornton Township about these credit card charges. expenses, and how they benefited taxpayers, but received no clarity. Mayor Henyard invited us to come back to Dalton and the township to showcase upcoming turkey giveaways, senior programs, and plans for an ice rink. Proof, she says, that she lives up to her moniker, the People's Mayor.
The people's mayor. What people she talking about? Her people. She's abusing power, rigging elections, and using taxpayer dollars for her own benefit. That is a shame. She is victimizing those people in Dalton, Illinois, and in that township solely for her benefit. She needs to be removed out of office. That is embarrassing. She is victimizing those people and making them victims. She needs to be kicked out.